So there's a group of people that are caught up in a little bit of controversy right now. White people, shocker, shocker. White people are never discriminated against in public. But yes, white people in itself is caught up in a controversy all the way to Missouri. So there's a town of white people. There's only white people. You can only be white if you go in here. Somebody bought this plot of land and made it into a town that's only white people. I don't know how that works. I don't know if like a black guy walks through and he's lost and they're like, get out of here. And obviously I don't agree with it, but hey, it's a free country. And what I've heard, if you have private property, you have the right to discriminate against anybody, even their ethnicity. It's not a Walmart. It's not a hotel. It's a town that someone bought, like a plot of land. So this comes from Sky News. So let's go ahead and check out this video. And she looks very happy.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I. I'm 32. I'm a lady.
This is Return to the Land,
Yes, we
a
can
group
see.
of millennials who organised online to build something radical and controversial. A town for white people only, that they insist is completely legal. We spent several days with them, watching as the men set about the physical labour of building out the site. All the while, the women of the group took on the more typically trad, homesteading-type roles.
This is crazy. It's like a little tribe. It's a
I guess
tribe of white people.
I found the people through Twitter that
Look
ended
at that little
up
house.
starting this project, actually spearheading it. And I went out to the first April event last year, and it was really fun.
The sort of white-only aspect of this, how important is that to you guys?
Given the premise that it's something that is kind of off limits for whites but is okay by implication for other groups, I do feel it's necessary to carve that out, and you kind of have to do it yourself.
It's kind of like...
So to me, this is kind of like the after effect of telling people only this certain amount of people can do this. If you are white, you can't say this, but other people who aren't white can say it. So this is kind of like the cause and effect of that. They're saying, well, we live in a society where I can't do nothing and all these freaking people of color can do whatever they want. Let's create a city that we can do whatever we want if we're white. So that's the cause and effect of all this racial crap that we go through in this country right now.
If we don't do this, the laws are only getting worse as far as freedom of association goes. So it's kind of like we have to do this, or there might come a time where it's not possible to.
See, and then like they kind of go off of the conspiracy where all white people are going to be erased. We're not going to be left, and we have to do this. So, like I said, I don't agree with it, but I can kind of see where they're coming from. I mean, it's people get scared, man. It's like people get scared, especially going on the news and stuff, and they're seeing all this stuff happening to like white people. And that nothing happens to the person who commits the crime because they're black. That scares people. That's probably what scared them.
Are you guys aware sort of people are going to be watching is going to be controversial?
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the biggest misunderstanding?
Well,
That we hate everyone else. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not about that
Yeah,
by any means.
it's a loving movement.
I mean, on that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter argument would be you could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do, and I think that's great for them. And it's like if other people are allowed to do it.
She's not wrong. That there are communities of gay people and black people. There are. I'm about to show you guys in a second, but you could kind of they could kind of rationalize why they feel the way they feel. Some people do stuff and you ask them why, and they're like, because I hate Trump, or because I hate white people. They have a pretty good understanding of what they're doing, why are they doing it.
You don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't make any sense. So it's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
The leader, Eric Orwell, wants the community to grow and further what he calls traditional white American culture. And the group is explicit about this. It has an online fundraiser to give cash rewards to parents of newborns as a means to incentivize population growth. Just before we arrived, they donated $1,000 to a family
You could say they're trying to colonize. They're trying to colonize the area.
for having their 6th child.
Is that part of the mission as well? To sort
They're
of
already pumping out kids too.
have big families, to make the community bigger? Is there a sort of pressure there?
I don't feel particularly myself, I don't feel any pressure to like have a big family. I think there's a kind of expectation here that you do want to, as part of helping grow this thing, that you're going to have kids.
Why it's only available on the Sky News app and website. So if you guys want to see the full video, go ahead and check it out. But yeah, it is a town of white people, and people are pretty upset about it, obviously because they're white people. You don't see the same reaction from black people. And I think it's in Missouri, they're going to investigate this, which is wild. So, well, but you could be black and buy land and say it's only for black people. But once you're white, they start to investigate those dastardly white people. They want to be by themselves with only their kind. Dang, God forbid to let that happen. Even if you don't agree with it, it's like, it's private property. You own it. You can do whatever you want with it. It's not a business. Yeah, so it does like with cults too. Cults can buy land and have their own little cult freaking town, and that's happened multiple times throughout history. But like I said, God forbid if white people do it. So for all you race baiters who are watching this video and you want to say, oh, the white people have their own land already, black people never do this, which a lot of people say on Twitter for some reason. Let's go back to a couple years ago where when the BLM crap happened, they tried to form. There's a group of black people that try to form their own town called Freedom, Georgia. So go ahead and watch this.
You hear that? That is the sound of freedom.
The sound of wind.
A lush and rugged expanse, about 100
You could go to freaking Russia and hear the same thing. That doesn't mean it's freedom, buddy.
130 miles south of Atlanta, just shy of 97 acres. It's undeveloped, unincorporated, and it has new owners.
It feels amazing. It feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Renee Walters is one of them. She's president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. It's a collective of 19 black families who recently bought this land. This dream all started a few weeks ago during Renee's typical morning call with her friend Ashley Scott.
She said, Ashley, did you see the article about Toomsboro for sale?
It turns out that the entire small town was never for sale, just a bundle of a few dozen homes and buildings. So Ashley, a real estate agent, looked for listings in the area and found one for this.
And it was just such a beautiful piece of land. It was affordable, and it just made sense that we could create something that would be amazing for our families.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
It really was when we saw what happened with Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the protests.
We both have black husbands, we both have black sons, and I was starting to get overwhelmed and have a sense of anxiety when my husband would leave the house to go to work.
So why?
And that was totally debunked, by the way. That was just the media scaring black people. I remember that. They were literally saying to black people, be careful when you go outside. You might literally just get shot by a cop on sight with no reason why. And I remember I have black family members for a minute. They were scared to go outside too. I'm like, bro, it's not like that. But then later on, like 5 years later, I was right. So, you know, listen to a white man for once.
Watching our people protesting in the streets, while it is important, and I want people to stay out in the streets, bringing attention to the injustices of black people, we needed to create a space and a place where we could be a village again, a tribe again.
The
So you
owners
guys see the
hosted
difference,
big
too?
black campout over Labor Day weekend. Supporters drove in from across the country. The plan is to introduce farming next, create a lake for sustainable fishing, facilities for recreation, and eventually develop a fully operational, expanded city.
So you guys see the difference, right, between the two? So between the two articles, when it's black people wanting to start their own town, they get celebrated. There's a whole party. Investors from across the country will come over to invest into this town and just be known that they helped black people create a town. But when it's the white people, oh, the freaking state is going to investigate you now because this is weird that you're doing this. And when you look at the video we watched, they were like out in the freaking middle of nowhere. Just imagine if they were close to another town. They would probably get raided by a bunch of anti-white people, and they would be in danger. They're probably hidden. You probably can't just walk over there and boom, you're there. Like this town. They just bought a town that was already there, and they're making it into a black town. But the white people, they're starting it looks like they're starting from freaking scratch. And they just bought a big old plot of land. So can't you see the moral dilemma between this? So when it's a black person that wants to create a black-only town, it's elevated and celebrated. But when it's a white person that does it, it's demonized, and the government will go and investigate it. And people don't want to even touch it because they don't want to be deemed as racist. So you can clearly see a disconnect between the fairness between this. Last I checked, you can have your own private property and do whatever you want as long as it doesn't break the government statutes, which I don't think discriminating against a race is not. You know, black people, they want to make their own town. Go ahead. No problem. I don't care. If you're white, if you're Mexican, if you're freaking Russian. Oh, what I'm trying to point out is that this discrimination against white people needs to end. It's not fair that when there are a group of people who are scared for their lives and their future, they have the right, if they have the money, they have the right to do something about it. They can go have fundraisers, try to make a difference in their government, try to go to the local government. And there's some people that feel like they can't do nothing, and the only way to get out of it is to start new. So that's what these people did. That's what the black people did. That's what the white people did. They thought there was no other way out, so they started to create a town that's only their people. And like I said, it's just crazy that they want to go and investigate the white people because it's racist. But when black people do it, it's celebrated. So what do you guys think about this? You guys think that there's a big, fat double standard in our society and it needs to change? Go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below. Go ahead and like the video if you liked it. Go ahead and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next video.